Hi, everyone, and welcome to By Design with Dr. Erika, a show focused on highlighting amazing women who are stepping out of the box, saying screw the expectations of society, and basically living their life by design, living like they want to live. So, welcome. Today, I am so excited. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am about how eclectic all of our guests are. We've had a comic book artist, a nutrition specialist, a quadrilingual school designer, and now we're stepping a little bit into the sports arena, just a little bit with a little bit of Keris's background. But today we are joined by Keris Timol. Am I saying your last name right, Keris?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay. Yay! So Keris is a maternal wellness coach, and she brings healing to those seeking a sound mind, body, and soul. Through her practice of yoga and meditation, Keris guides her students to living healthier and happier lives. She is an avid I can't say yoga instructor, yogi, that's the difference. An avid yogi for over decades with roots in Hatha yoga, tantric yoga, Keris?
Yep.
Okay. Meditation. And she has, before devoting her work to yoga, she played professional basketball in Wales and taught middle school physical education. So Keris, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Erica. Thanks for having me. I'm super
No
excited to be here with
problem.
you.
Yay. So I have to ask the question. I'm sure that you get this because you said, we just said that you used to play professional basketball. I get this question all the time. How tall are you?
I do. Oh my gosh. I'm 6 feet.
Okay. I'm 5'10", so you get those
Oh, you're pretty
questions.
tall.
Yeah. You get to get the questions of, did you play basketball or did you model? Those
Oh
are the
yeah,
two questions that tall chicks
yeah. For sure. That's so
we
true.
always get those questions. So okay, 6 foot. Okay, tall girl world. I love
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it. Now, some of you may be wondering, Erika, how does this all fit into like your show and kind of what you're talking about in your shows? And I always say, like, everybody has a journey, everybody has a story in terms of where they were and to how they got to where they are now. So, Keris, tell us, kind of walk us back 5 or 10 years ago, and help us understand how you went from playing basketball to now working with women and wellness and yoga and kind of helping women along their journey.
Sure, yeah. So I guess we're always expanding, growing, and changing, which is just so awesome and wonderful. Who you were 5 years ago or even yesterday is not the same person. And it's kind of the transformation I've gone through. Years ago, I've always grown up playing basketball, always into sports. And then I got a basketball scholarship. So I came to America to play at university and then
Wait,
decided to go overseas.
you're not
And
from here?
no,
I
I'm
did not
not.
know that. Where are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
so not,
digress.
that's okay. Not too far off.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I'm from Canada, but spent a majority of my life here now. After college, stayed here, and then I went to Wales, played for a year, and then came back. And I actually probably didn't tell you this, but I got into mortgages and loans for a year. I know, and
How did that come about?
I know it's just um, with family and the family business and got into that and and I wasn't really passionate about that and
Mhm.
I didn't love it. So I did that for a year and I thought I really wanted to teach
Mm,
kids phys ed. So got into phys ed, teaching
okay.
kids, and then I started teaching them yoga. And I'd sneak that into our PE classes.
Okay.
And I really loved that. And then I started to build my own practice.
Mhm.
I went through a little bit of a rough patch, a difficult time in my life, and so I found meditation. And then I got to the point where I thought, I really love teaching yoga and meditation, and I want to reach as many people as I can and help them in ways that it's helped me and it's changed my life dramatically.
Mm.
And then I became a mom, and yoga and meditation has kind of changed from how I practiced it before. Now it's a whole new meaning for me. And I see moms sometimes just really overwhelmed and stressed
Mhm.
out. And I just think to myself, wow, if they could just have the tools that I've used that have helped me, they could just navigate motherhood so much easier and effortlessly.
Right,
Kind of
right.
how I got to that point where I am now.
Gotcha. So you mentioned I have to go back to this because it caught me off guard. The mortgage piece and sort
Yeah.
of been changing to wanting to teach kids. Coming from a family that had a family business, was that a hard sort of thing to have a discussion about? Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go follow this passion that I have.
Not really, because it wasn't like my tight knit family. So it was okay. And the thing about my family, everyone is pretty much just very open to everyone going and doing what you want to do and, following your dreams and passions. So I've
Mhm.
never actually had someone tell me, no, you shouldn't do that, or that's not what you should be doing. You need to be doing this.
Okay.
So that kind of wasn't an easy thing for me to just kind of navigate away from.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier. Yeah. I know for me, that was one of the things that I had to think about. And it's funny, my family was very supportive, but it was that fear that kind of kept me from wanting to say anything like, what are they going to say? So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you went from mortgage to schools and teaching kids yoga. How did that, I know you said you loved it, but how did the kids react to the yoga? I'm just curious.
You know, you have some of them that really are into it
Mhm.
and will love it, and then you have the other kids that will giggle. I mean, they were eighth graders,
Okay.
so it could go either way.
Gotcha.
And if I play some meditation music or the bells, I'd have the kids in the corner laughing about it, and then I'd have the other ones sitting there and taking it all in.
That's so funny. So now
Yeah.
you said yoga, you found that you love yoga and it was kind of your passion, right?
Hmm.
How, because I think people struggle with that. How did you know that was your passion? Like, what was it that you felt that made that sort of light bulb go off in your head?
Like today, I taught a yoga class this morning,
Mhm.
and after teaching it, I just felt whole. And
Mm,
I had this feeling like you just kind of know, like, this is what you're meant to be doing. And if
mhm,
you don't get that feeling in something that you're doing, then it's probably not something you're passionate about.
mhm,
It's almost undescribable. Like, you'll know it when you feel it,
mhm.
you know? I think didn't you used to do something you weren't really passionate about?
Girl.
And
Yes. I was
yeah,
in big pharma for a while. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And so, when you really start to do something you love and you find your purpose, and it took me a long time. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, it's taken me this many years to finally figure it out, but I'm
Mhm.
just glad I'm here now.
Right.
And I
Right.
know that feeling.
Right. And I think, you bring up something important there is that you did take the chance or did have the experience to find it because so many of us just go through life just kind of living and existing and
Hmm.
not even being open to the idea of other things that are out there and other things that drive me and the passions that I have. And we just kind of stay in that 9 to 5 mindset. So I think,
Right, exactly.
you know, one thing I would love to talk about is you talked about finding the passion and kind of knowing what you love. Sometimes
Hmm.
people hear that and they think that you won't have days that are hard if you are, living your passion, working your passion. What are your thoughts about that concept?
Well, it's not true. I mean, there's always going to be good days and bad days, no
Hmm.
matter what, but you're going to have more of the good.
Hmm.
And you'll also be able to see the good in the bad, if that kind of makes sense. You
Right.
might have a bad day, but you take a look at your day and you think, wow, I'm still doing what I love. This happened. That's okay. I'm going to find the positive in that.
Hmm. Exactly. I had, speaking of like bad days, I had a bad week last
Oh
week.
no.
It was not anything like looking back, it's not anything like earth shattering, but
Right.
when you're trying to build a business or trying to do something different, it's going to be ups and downs and kind of roadblocks that you hit. And it was a point where I was like, I'm going to just go back to corporate, forget this, like, screw this, it's too hard. You have those days, but to your point,
Oh
it's
yeah.
kind of, you have them, you go through them, you push forward, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you reap the reward at the end doing what you love
Right.
and you get that back. So,
Exactly. So you fell in love with yoga. Where was the first time you took a yoga class or experienced yoga?
oh my gosh. So it's funny. I was just talking to one of my old teammates last week and reminiscing with her. We realized we actually did a yoga class on our basketball team the whole team had to do a yoga class. And this is so long ago. But I remember being in that yoga class thinking, why am I doing this? This is awful. And just not taking any of it. And I look back at that person and I'm wondering, oh my gosh, do you know how good that could have been for you? You would have been way better on the basketball court. You would have been way more effective. So that was my first experience, but I wasn't even really aware of what I was doing and into it. But my first real experience, I guess I would say, probably when I was living in New York, and my sister introduced me to yoga. And I always said, no, I'm only going to do Bikram yoga. And if you're familiar with Bikram yoga, it's only a specific type of moves and positions you do and postures. And from that, now you won't catch me in a Bikram yoga class. Now I'm more into the slower yin meditation. So that's kind of evolved too.
Yes. Love some yin.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite, and don't worry, we'll get into like audience out there. We'll get into like some of the discussions about yin and what it is. So don't worry, you're not lost right now.
Oh, that's okay. This is all great.
So yeah, okay. So taking that first class. So you mentioned something I think a lot of people struggle with is that first experience into yoga. It's kind of like, what is this? Or this is not for me. Like, this is weird. How do you help your clients sort of overcome that feeling of I'm not comfortable doing this?
Well, I love to tell everybody that yoga is for everyone, and it really is, because it works in so many different ways and it works how you need it to work for you. And how yoga works for me might not be the same how it works for you. And the lovely thing about it is there's so many modifications and adjustments you can make in poses and your practice that we can tailor it. And I can tailor a practice for you. So it works for just how you need it to be.
Okay.
And so it doesn't matter if you're not flexible, if you've never done it before. It's a progress and it's a growth, and you just continue with it.
Right. Okay. I've never had anybody customize a yoga routine or course for me. That's interesting. That would be interesting. I'm just thinking about it even from like a injury perspective, because that was always one of my challenges, is that some of the things I can't pigeon pose. Love it, but my knees are shot. So it's always like a hard thing. So,
well, there's so many different ways you can do it. You can do it on your back. You can use pillows and bolsters and blankets to kind of put you into it, so it still works for you.
Okay.
And that's kind of how yoga is. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, there's room for everybody. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, if I recall, you had a special experience in terms of getting involved with yoga in Bali.
Oh, yeah.
How was that experience, and what did you take away from that?
That was really awesome, because that was, gosh, so many things come from that. Traveling by myself across the world, for one, and really stepping out of my comfort zone and being a little bit fearful and being okay with that and just taking all these new experiences. And so that's where I spent a month, and I did my yoga and meditation training and allowing myself to really immerse myself in it did a lot of healing for me. And by doing that, that's enabled me to learn all this new stuff and tools to really help others as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Travel there by yourself, like that's something I have not done yet. Well, no, I take that back. I've traveled by myself for work, but not just by myself, So that's
Right.
amazing. How did you overcome that fear of being there?
I needed a change in my life, and I needed it badly and quickly. And so I was going to do anything at that point.
Gotcha.
So I just kind of said, get over that fear and go. And it was scary the first few days of traveling and whatnot, but you get used to it.
Right. How long were you there?
For a month.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, while you were there, did you learn all types of yoga, or is there like one specific type that you had to learn?
So the training I did was a specific type of Hatha yoga, but we learned a little bit about yoga nidra and some restorative yoga. But there's so many other trainings. If, like, for example, if you wanted to do a yin training, you could do, that's a whole nother training you could do, or even a meditation,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your time frame. So again, we were mortgaged to school to yoga and now starting your own business and platform.
Hmm.
Now, are you doing that full time now?
I am, yes.
Ooh, so how has that transition been from being employed by someone to
Mhm.
being, everything and telling yourself what to do and owning it?
Uh, that was a little scary at first too, but I love the freedom that it brings. You just have to be very disciplined and schedule everything out and really motivated to do it. But it's so worth it. I get more time with my kids and it's a little bit more flexible, you
Mhm.
know?
Gotcha. What's been the biggest challenge, do you think, in the transition?
For me, I would say figuring out the right time and when to do things, scheduling stuff, and it's a little bit difficult with the kids at home because of COVID right now.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get back into routine, I think that will help. But it's finding that routine again.
Gotcha. The routine for when you say scheduling things like your classes or social media,
Yeah,
what?
all of that. And that's the thing, you have to do all that now. So we've got to
Right.
scheduling. Okay, I've got to do this post on here, on social media, setting up calls, and all of that now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I just go into the studio and teach and be done with it.
Right.
But now it's a lot more.
So, what sparked you to want to step away from being in a studio to being on your own?
I guess being more financially free
Mm.
and being able to provide more for my family. You don't get paid great at studios. Um, and I'm spending so much time traveling back and forth to studios when that travel time could be used for me working on my business and growing my business
Mm.
and then giving me that extra time that I need at home with my family.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine, trying to teach. I used to teach Zumba.
Oh, no way.
Ah.
I can totally see that.
I used to teach. I wasn't like, at a gym or anything. I had like a studio that I would go to, but it's hard
Okay.
finding space. It's hard, just takes a lot. Like people don't understand how much it takes to make that happen and make that financially a situation where you can be financially stable and just do that. So I get
Right.
it.
Right. You'd be teaching at 1,000 different studios and
Right.
running around. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, awesome. So you went from the studio and now you have your own business and with yoga. So when we think about entrepreneurs, because I like to ask this to people because a lot of people
Hmm.
want to be entrepreneurs, right? They see what I call like the highlight reel on social media and
Yeah.
I made $6 million and I got a bag and isn't my life great type thing. What do you think a myth is about entrepreneurship that you had coming in that when you started it, it was like, no, this is not even true.
I didn't realize how much work it would be. I
Mm,
thought it would be a little bit easier, and it takes time to build it up. That's a big one. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not quick.
mhm.
It's gonna take time and a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, I think the other piece to that is it takes, at least for you, you have a very specific target. You are focusing on yoga, right? And
Right.
meditation. And I think for some, it's even trying to figure out what they're focusing on. Like who's their audience? What's their message? That's kind of like the process of a lot of entrepreneurs go through. So it's
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I needed a very specific target audience. And I do have that now. My audience is primarily overwhelmed moms. I mean, I do have other clientele as well, but that's who I'm mostly targeting. But I didn't even think I needed that. But you kind of do. You need that specific target in order to be successful. And
right. Right.
yeah,
So you didn't have a target at first. You were just targeting
no,
just women in general.
not even just women. I was just targeting people who wanted to practice yoga.
Great.
And yeah, and that's the problem. Yeah, because you need something specific, right?
Gotcha. Okay. So okay, this is a random thought. I'm sorry,
That's
but
okay.
so you're talking about you're doing yoga for overwhelmed moms. Do you have combination classes where you have moms and their kids?
Um, so no, not yet.
Okay, it may be crazy.
Um,
It's just something I thought of. You can say,
I've
Erika,
been,
it's stupid. I'm cool with it.
no, I've done yoga with my kids before. It is a good idea. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I've been, it's, I've thought about it. It's there.
It was just a random,
um,
like literally a random thought that just came into my head. Like, I wonder if she does that. So, no, no worries.
before everything was online, I actually taught a couple of those before. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
not
So,
a crazy idea.
okay, good. I mean, there's so many crazy ideas in this head that it wouldn't even shock me if it was. So, you have your practice, and I want to ask you this because it's kind of just speaking to kind of living by design. Now that you've been through several different things in your life and having kids and having a business, how do you see, what does a purpose driven or a life by design for Keris look like?
Good question. Well, ultimately, um, my family has to be taken care of. We have to be just happy, peaceful, everything's great, everything flows effortlessly. But in addition to that, a wonderful life would be me being able to share everything that I have, all my tools and techniques to help other people so they can also learn how to heal themselves and really live that same kind of life that they want for themselves.
Hmm. Okay, love it. And you have two kids, I think.
So, yeah.
Aw, I love kids. Okay, so let's talk about this healing a little bit, because I want to get into some discussion around yoga itself.
Mhm.
And like I said, I think a lot of people are intimidated by yoga and think that it has to be one way. If somebody wanted to just get their feet into yoga for the first time, is there one type of yoga that you would suggest would be a great doorway in?
Hmm. I used to say yin,
Mm,
but now the more and more I get into yin yoga, it's maybe it would actually, yin would be a good place to start just because it's very slow.
mm,
But the more you get into yin, you can get very deep into that practice, and that can be super, super healing.
mm.
And it can actually be a little bit challenging.
Okay. Can you explain to
But
everybody what yin yoga is? Because everybody might not know what that.
yeah, so yin yoga, it's basically the opposite of your yang. So if you think of a traditional yoga practice, the vinyasa, a faster moving pace class, yin is the opposite of that. So it's much slower. You don't practice that many poses, maybe about 10 to 15 poses, and you're holding them for about maybe 3 to 5 minutes. So you're in the posture, for example, with your pigeon, you'll hold it for a longer period of time. And this allows you to get really deep into the connective tissue and release any tension or in the muscles. Relax.
Yes. It's my favorite type of yoga.
I'm with you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about yoga, and you're talking about healing and sort of, just being able to be a happier person, um,
Hmm.
help me understand because, or help the audience understand, because a lot of people just think of yoga as just movement and I'm holding these poses and, I'm stretching. Yeah, that's great. But how does that get into healing and happiness and mindfulness and all that kind of stuff?
Okay, yeah, sure. So yoga works from the inside out. So we really learn to heal our bodies on the inside first and out. And how does that work? That works when each posture in yoga has different benefits. Energetic benefits, maybe physical, muscular benefits. And so that's what's really cool about it. So when you're going through these postures and holding them, you're actually working on the inside, and your body's doing all that stuff on the inside to really help you release any tension, any tightness. Now, if you think about it, okay, so a lot of us hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, our upper back, and our hips,
Yes.
okay? And that is manifested from our stress levels. So it just shows in the body. So when we go through yoga, we're stretching out, releasing this tension here, but we're also working on the mind. So we're working on focusing on our breath, letting go of here's another one. So when you're constantly thinking about the past and the future,
Mhm.
it can be stressful,
Mhm.
right? When we do that. So we're just bringing more stress into our body. So when we're practicing yoga, we're focusing on our postures, on our breath, being in the moment, letting go of any past or future thoughts.
Gotcha.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. Especially, yeah, all of that makes sense. And even when you're touching on like where we're holding the stress. And I think, especially now, of course, the shoulders and the back, but especially now, like even more so just sitting down all the time now from being in the house, in this
Yeah.
COVID time, it's a lot that's going on in our hip flexors and things like that too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Now, this is something that is a question that I have, and maybe a silly question, but again, I just ask stuff. When we think about yoga and meditation, right? I'll be honest, I have done yoga and I have not meditated while I was doing yoga. I'm just kind of there like, can this 5 minutes be over anytime soon? So do you have to tie the two together, or like, can it be separate? Should it be together? Am I doing it wrong? Like, let me know.
I think, okay. So I'm kind of confused about your question. Basically, you're saying, can meditation and yoga be one?
Or do they
Or
have to be one? Like when I'm in there and I'm in pigeon and I'm praying for those 5 minutes to be over, is that is that bad? Should I be
it's not
meditating
bad.
instead? Okay.
Okay, it's not bad. Okay, so here's the thing. So yes, when we're holding pigeon, you're in there for 5 minutes and you're just wishing for it to be over. This is when it becomes meditative. You start to think about, okay, now you have these thoughts coming in your mind. Focus on your breath instead. And when you start to do that, you actually might find more release in your body, because then you can allow yourself to let go. Your body softens, and then that tightness in your hip might start to go away because you're allowing your body to relax. Rather than if you're thinking, oh, is this 5 minutes over? Oh, this is painful. Now you've got that stress in your head, which it could be putting it back in the body.
That's true. Yes. That like around 3 minutes and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God. Switch legs, switch legs.
oh yeah. No, I've been there. I get that. But that also takes time, you
Yeah.
know? Takes
Yeah.
time.
Gotcha. So now tell us a little bit about your business itself and kind of what you have going on for overwhelmed moms right now.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we actually just started our first day today. I have an 8-week course for overwhelmed moms. It's a yoga and meditation course. So we go through the 8 weeks and we progress each week, building upon everything and getting really deep into yoga and meditation. And the whole purpose of this course is just to um, give yourself some time for you to really relax, release stress, and then take everything you've learned on the mat, off the mat, into your daily life.
Hmm.
Everything transfers.
So help me understand that. Take everything off the mat into your daily life. What do you mean?
Okay, let's go back to your pigeon pose.
No.
So for example, in pigeon pose, you're holding it and you're stressing about, oh, are we going to get out of this? And you're thinking and all these thoughts going in your mind, and you're not focusing on what you need to be focused on. So take that out into the real world, okay? Instead of worrying about what Sally said or what Jennifer said or Bobby said, focusing on what you're doing right now and what needs to be done, and on you and what you project and bring to others.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So this is an 8-week course, did you say, that you're doing?
Yep, 8 weeks.
Okay, gotcha.
8-week course.
Now let me ask you this. When it comes to yoga and meditation, again, a lot of people think that, they can do it wrong, right? And in your 8-week course, obviously it's structure, you're sort of giving people direction, but when
Yes.
they're on their own, if I can't get my 30-minute hour yoga in, is 5 minutes enough?
So that's actually what we talk about in our first week. So the first week's
That
about
was not
scheduling.
planned, ladies and gentlemen. That was not planned.
No, it's so funny. Yeah, that's our first week is about scheduling and putting it in your calendar. So today, everyone had to put that in their calendar. That's their homework this week, to figure it out. When are they going to practice yoga? And someone actually asked a great question. When is the best time to do it? Should I do it in the morning or in the evening? And my answer to that is, when do you prefer to do it and you're more likely to do it? But I like to do both, just in case. I'm like really flexible in case I miss or don't do as much as I'd like in the morning. I want to make sure I get it in the evening. So, and then if it's a great day, I do it both times. But yeah, we talk about how to schedule it in. So
Mm-hmm.
you're doing it and you're getting everything done.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it could be 5 minutes. It can be an hour.
Okay.
So
Okay. So no more excuses, people. 5 minutes.
no, that's all it takes. I actually have in my online portal some short yoga classes. So if you don't have a lot of time, just get a few minutes in, or some longer classes if you have time, do some longer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And do you have meditation classes too, or just the yoga and meditation sort of combined?
I have separate ones for meditation. So if you just want to sit down and meditate, I have classes for that too. You can just log in and do a 5-minute meditation.
Okay. Let's talk about that because I have questions.
Yeah.
I have questions, Keris. Meditation. So I see like different apps and things for meditation, and it's a lot, like when it comes to meditation. And I used to think of meditation as just sitting there and trying to black out everything in my mind. But I feel like, are there different meditation types or different meditation skill sets for different times in your life? Like, I'm a little bit confused as to what to do for meditation.
Yeah. There's so many different types of meditations, and you're right, they're different apps. I actually like to use Insight Timer because I actually have some meditations on there too. You want to check them out?
Insight time. Never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many different types you can do. There's meditations on gratitude, so you're working on that. Meditation on just the breath, so you're focusing in on your breath. There's different visualizations that you can do, so you're not blacking everything out, you're actually visualizing certain things. And there's also my absolute favorite, I'm not sure if you've heard of this, Yoga Nidra.
No. What
It's
is
a
yoga?
lying down meditation, and it's guided, and you're guided through creating intention, visualizations, counting exercises. It's really awesome. If you
Yoga.
get a chance, try Yoga Nidra.
Yoga. That's not an app, right? That's actual practice.
It's an actual practice. Yeah, it's a lying down meditation.
Gonna have to
Yeah.
look it up. That sounds so familiar. So we had a psychologist on, and she
Mm-hmm.
does gong therapy. So I'm wondering if she's connecting, because she said you just lay on the floor and they do the gongs and the sound therapy as well.
So that's sound healing,
Uh-huh.
which is, the vibrations from the sound and stuff is super healing for your body as well. A little bit different than Yoga Nidra, but some people actually practice Yoga Nidra and they'll use their gongs as well because of that, the healing vibration, you know.
Yeah, I had never heard of that. I'm like learning so much on my shows. I had never even heard of that. So now I have Yoga Nidra and gong therapy. I need to put the two together and make something happen for myself.
Oh my gosh, if you can ever find a class with both of those together, do it.
I'm gonna look for that now.
Yeah.
I wish I had that skill set to teach. Oh gosh. Okay. So your 8-week program, and you're only working with mothers at this time, right?
I actually have someone in my course that's not a mother.
Oh.
Yeah, but she's taking the course, and because it's all this stuff applies for all of us. It
Right.
works.
All the
So,
over.
yeah, exactly. You don't have to be a mom. I mean, there's some specific things, but the yoga and the meditation will work for anyone dealing with any sort of overwhelm or stress.
Okay. What would you say if you look back, over the process of creating this business? I know we talked about the challenge of scheduling, right? That was the biggest challenge. What's your biggest learning that you have?
The biggest one was how to actually do it, how to start. I didn't know how to start. I knew I wanted something. I just didn't know where to begin or how to do it.
Okay. And how did you get over that? Like, how'd you figure it out?
Hired a coach, a business coach. Yep.
Okay.
And I've learned so much from it. And I never thought that, I don't know, I feel as if I've always, I don't know if you feel the same way, but always thought, oh, I can figure this out. I can do it on my own. And I was at a point where I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know how to do it. So I figured, let me just find a business coach. And I did. And it's been amazing because I've learned so much more.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely there. Like, I'm a smart girl. I have
Hmm.
degrees. I
Hmm.
can do anything. I can figure this out.
Yeah.
And you say that to yourself, like, if I was smart enough, I would not need help. Like,
Yeah.
those are the things you tell yourself.
Exactly.
Right. Honestly, we probably could figure it out, but how long would it take?
Right. It would have taken me much longer. I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have had a course yet.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, how long what was your time frame from saying I'm going to start to trying to figure it out to being like I think I need help? Like, what was your time frame to go from I'm doing this on my own to I'm not superwoman, I need help?
So I think back 2 years ago, it
Mhm.
was I was sitting in my parents' living room thinking, I want a business. I want something for myself. I just don't know how to do it. And I just kept doing little things, dabbling, looking on the internet, figuring out how to do it. This was 2 years ago.
Mm,
And then finally now I just said, you know what? I, I, I need to I need to know exact steps how to get it started.
right,
So I
right,
just hired a business coach.
right. And
Yeah.
I love asking people that question because, like I say, sometimes people outsiders see you doing your business and it to them it popped up. You're like, oh my gosh, just yesterday, she just
Yeah.
started this business and it's working. And it's always, like I said, there's always a story and a journey behind
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. It just doesn't happen overnight. So I like
Exactly. And I'm still in the very beginning stages too. So
how long has your business been going now? When did you like
since
officially kick off?
January.
January. Okay, you're coming up
Yeah.
on a year almost.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Where's this time gone?
Oh, so knowing that,
Hmm.
looking back over the past, where are we? We're now in, yeah, wait, past 8 months or so.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of in your business?
I actually have something now.
Mm,
I actually put what I had on paper and like, made it tangible. It exists.
hmm
And yeah, I'm just glad that I did it. I just did it
gotcha.
instead of holding back and being fearful for, I guess I was scared of not succeeding as well. It's part of it. It's where
hmm
you never do it.
hmm
I just kind of did it.
And I completely agree with that. The fear can keep people from moving forward.
Yeah.
How did you, if you could just give people out there that may be in that same spot, they have this idea they want to start, but they're terrified. What would you say to them to get them past that level of fear?
So the best piece of advice anyone ever gave me was start before you're ready.
Mm,
And start before you're ready.
right. Love it. Yeah, because if you don't start, you're not going to move forward. So,
Exactly. And
do-
you might never be ready.
right. Do it scared, do it terrified. Like, that's how this
Yeah.
truth be told, that's how this podcast happened. Some people don't know, like, I had a book that was coming out, and I was like, let's just do a show with some authors. And I said that, and I think my coach was like, yeah, you should do that. And I'm like, I don't know anything about podcasting or vlogs or anything, and you want me to do what? And I have how long? A week? Uh, okay. And here we have it.
That's amazing.
So it's still going. So yeah, definitely do it scared. Just do it. Get
Yeah,
it.
right? That's
Mhm.
so good. I love that.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Keris, what else is going on with the business? Anything else? The 8-week program? Anything else that you're working on or have coming up that we should
So I
know?
do, oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, fine.
I do work with one-on-one clients, so I'm working on building that too. I'm probably have about 3 more spots left to work with one-on-one clients, and then hopefully next year, early next year, a retreat. So a yoga and meditation retreat. Don't know where yet because it's a little bit crazy time, but we're gonna make it work somewhere. Even if
Yeah.
it has to be here in the US, it's okay. Still
Oh,
make a wonderful.
a yoga meditation retreat. I want to, don't you have to tell me when that is?
Oh, I will.
I
Because I know you'll love the yin.
You what?
You'll love the yin. There'll be lots of yin.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. Awesome sauce. Well, Keris, thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate it. And I learned a lot, about yoga and just meditation just from having this conversation and really getting to know kind of your journey and your path to getting here. So
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you bringing me on. It's great to talk with you.
yes, but I can't let you go yet.
Oh,
Because
you've got one of those scary questions for me.
four.
Oh, four of them? All of them? Ugh. Everyone does all four of them?
Yes.
Oh, I thought there was only one. Okay.
What fun would that be? So the Fab Four. You got this.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I would go back in time and take away everyone's hurt and pain from the past.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. I've had people that say go back in the past before, but they never added that caveat to it. So I love that.
Oh,
Love it. Okay. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would it be?
my sister, she passed away, so I'd have dinner with her. Um, my grandmother. Now, the third one, that was the hard one.
What?
Who would that third person be?
I don't know.
My mother.
Okay. Gotcha. Your sister,
Yep.
your grandmother, and your mother. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Three powerful women in my life.
I love it. All right. Everybody either loves or hates this question. So you had to pick a theme song for your life.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I really like this one.
Oh, yes. Okay. What is it?
Because Let's Go Crazy by Prince. Do you know that song?
Of course.
Oh my gosh, me and my daughter just jam to that all the time.
Oh
It's
gosh.
everything about that song, the words, oh,
Yes. Yes.
that's it.
Did you ever get the pleasure of seeing him live?
No.
No, me either.
Did you?
No,
No. Oh,
no,
that's good.
I missed it. I got on the
wish
Prince
me.
bandwagon late in life, so I wasn't a Prince fan when I was growing up. It wasn't until college. And so,
Yeah, me too.
yeah, okay. Yeah, my roommate was
Yeah.
super into him, and so yeah, I missed it.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to have dinner with him.
See, there you go. We're gonna add an addendum. He'll be there with you guys.
Yeah. Can I have four?
Yeah. Okay. All right. The last one. Finish these statements. I love.
My family.
I dream about.
Peace.
Okay. And I am.
Enough.
Yes. I think we should all tell ourselves that every day. I am enough. You are
Yeah.
enough. We are all enough just as we are. So yes.
Right?
I love it. Keris, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let the audience know where they can stay connected, how they can reach you, how they can get into your yoga programs, your one-on-one coaching. Give us all the details.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at keris.yoga. Find me on Facebook. You can just search Keris Timol. I also have a private Facebook group if you're an overwhelmed mom and you want to join. So yeah, reach out to me. Those two places are great. Send me messages. You can also email me at keristimol@gmail.com.
Awesome. And as always, guys, I will put all of that in the show notes. So if you missed it, don't worry. We got you. As always, we got you. So just look in the show notes in the comments and you'll find all those details there. So that's all the time we have today, everyone. Thank you for joining. If you missed any of the episodes, be sure to head over to the website, drerikabydesign.com. And while you're there, sign up for our By Design Digest so you can stay up to date with all the great things that are going on. And yeah, we will see you next time, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Erika.
Thank you.